weeks after the first game kicked off, AIFF's eFootball Challenge is now ready to culminate as we head into the grand finale. Yes, it is upon us now. Hello, everyone. Welcome along on this late Sunday afternoon. I hope all of you all are doing well. Thank you so much for joining in. And this is what we have all been waiting for. Two cracking semi-finals that we saw on Friday. But now is the time for the grand final. Who will come out on top? But in case you missed the two semi-finals, don't worry. We'll give you a quick gist of what happened there. Let's just have a quick look at the bracket for the uninitiated, and well, for those of you who watched it as well, just a quick reminder about how this tournament has panned out so far. So as most of you all would know, this is a tournament which is contested between the top 16 Indian PlayStation e-athletes of FIFA Global Series rankings. The round of 16 quarterfinals and semi-finals, as you can see, are already done now. And of course, we have our E-Tigers here with us. They will, of course, be representing India at the FIFA E-Nation Series 2021, which is supposed to be FIFA's flagship tournament here. Vicky and Charan are the two players who have the honor of representing India here. But although they are already E-Tigers, there is everything to play for in this one because, of course, this is AIFF's first eFootball Challenge, so a chance for Vicky and indeed Charan to go down in history and win this first ever title. It is, of course, a grand final, and it calls for a grand discussion as well. So we have a very special guest here with us today to discuss what might and what could and what should happen in this final, what we can expect here. He is, of course, the finalist in this very tournament and one of India's very best gamers as far as FIFA is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lokmanyu Chaturvedi.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Prem. As always, it's a pleasure to be here with you. And I'm honestly looking forward to this final because, well, indeed, I was against Vicky in the semis and it was quite a narrow game, so it could have gone either way. But now that Vicky is an E-Tiger and he's in the finals against the number one seed, Charan, I think this has to be one of the best matches because you see one player who's seed number 15 and you see one player who's seed number 1. So we did not see a seed 1 versus seed 2. We actually saw the opposite. So it goes to show how much talent there is when it comes to FIFA in our country. So let's see what happens. I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, you mentioned that it is seed number 1 versus seed number 15. And the two semi-finals as well were quite contrasting. If you look at Charan then it was really an emphatic victory for him, whereas your game with Vicky was very closely contested indeed. So from what you saw of the two games, what do you make is going to happen in this big final?
So, well, if you're asking for my prediction, I feel the way Charanjot is playing attackingly, offensively rather, I think he's one of the best there is. He's been very good when it comes to going forward. Whereas on the other hand, Vicky is more like a defensive player. He tries to sit back and then he will play on the counter attack. And that's another way of playing FIFA. So we're seeing two different approaches. So if one overpowers the other, of course, it's going to be that player's moment, but most likely I feel it's going to be CJ Charanjot. The way he's been playing, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. He's going to take this home.
All right. Well, that's what our expert Lokmanyu thinks. But what do the players think and how are they feeling before the game? Well, without further ado, let's call them on our show because they are here. Well, they are ready for the game, but they're also ready for just a quick chat before they jump on to their monitors. Charanjot and Vicky. Hey, guys.
Hi, Loki and Prem.
So,
hi, Vicky. Hi,
Vicky, I got to ask you this. I mentioned how you've had 3 very close games already coming into this final, whereas you've seen Charanjot, thrash almost anybody who's come in his way in this tournament. So how have you planned for this particular game mentally?
So obviously, it's going to be a challenging one for me because CJ is the best player in India right now, and I think I just have to stick to my game, and make sure he doesn't control the game.
Yeah. All right. And for you, Charanjot, the number one seed, just completely killing it in every game that you've played in so far. Feeling confident? You have to be feeling confident coming into
Yeah,
this.
yeah, I am feeling confident, and I'll take it as any other game which I've played in the tournament and try to come out on the top. I know Vicky has beaten some tremendous opponents like Loki, Chadda, and Sagnik, so it will be a tough affair. But I'll try to play my best football.
Okay. All right. Thank you for this chat, guys. We'll let you go now. Focus, concentrate, and all the best for the game. May the best man win.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
the best, guys. Do well.
Thank
thanks,
you.
Loki.
All right. We will, of course, continue our chat, Lokmanu. But before that, it's been an incredible tournament so far, and particularly for the two finalists. They've had some fantastic moments up to this final. So let's just have a quick look at the road to the semi or to the final for both these players. First up, Charan Jot. Have a look. Emphatic, just absolutely emphatic. Charan Jot has been throughout the tournament, but his opponent today, Vicky, has been doing just the opposite. But that can give you a different kind of confidence. Of course, he's won some really closely fought encounters, and he's shown great composure. So he's had some great moments as well. Let's have a look at how Vicky has made it to the final. And the big final is about to begin in just about 3 minutes from now. It just gives us just about enough time to take a quick glance at the statistics for both these players. And Lokmanu, I just want you to take over here and just discuss where this game can be won and lost today based on the statistics that we can see here.
I think, like I mentioned earlier, what I see from the stats as we talk about Charanjot Singh, he has scored 21 goals and he's conceded 6 goals. While on the other hand, we've seen a little complacent Vicky because his play style is completely opposite to that of Chelsea CJ12. So you see 10 10 goals scored and 9 conceded. That means he's won 2 games on 2 fixtures on penalties and one right at the death. So he's the kind of a player who's going to sit back, take all the pressure, but he knows how to defend well. The good quality about Vicky is that he knows how to contain his opponent, and he goes right at you at the counter attack. But on the other hand, Charanjot Singh will, of course, try to keep on a lot of pressure, and this is specific to the game as how much pressure Charanjot likes to push high up the pitch and play with his phenomenal player switching. So I think it's a contrast of both the players. It's going to be exciting to see which game style comes on top. I think it's not about the players, actually, it's about the game style, because it's completely opposite, and that's a matchup that I'm probably seeing it for the first time at this level of competition in a long time.
Right, absolutely. And just very quickly, Lokman, in the build-up to this tournament, of course, the semi-final was supposed to be, or the two semi-finals were supposed to be the big games, right? Because that's when we had a place for the to play for India as the E-Tigers at stake. And now that that's already been decided, these two players know that they will be representing India as the E-Tigers. But when you're actually playing in a big final, playing for pride is a thing of the past, isn't it? You play to win, whether it's actually on the field or through the controller with what you guys do.
Absolutely. I think you want to be the best. Like, after whoever wins this, he will be crowned as India's #1 player for this season. So, and especially with the AIFF doing the first eFootball challenge, I think that goes down in history as you were the first person to win it. And I think with that mindset, I think Charanjot has the edge. But Vicky, like I said, has beaten some amazing players, including myself, in the semis to get where he is. So I think he's not going to stop in the finals just thinking that I'm an E-Tiger. I think he's going to go all the way. Plus, there is a prize money on the line as well. So I feel that is another factor apart from the pride. So I think all those things combined, it is not going to be a final which is going to be laid back. I think it's going to be a fierce affair, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, Lokmanu, for joining us on this pre-match show. We will, of course, see you after the first leg. Just a reminder for people that this is a two-legged affair. And then, of course, after the game as well, we'll have Lokmanu's thoughts along with the players. So thank you so much for now. Now, the players have their fingers on their controllers and the moment has finally arrived. We are ready to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to win? It's a difficult one, really, to call. I mean, Lokmanu did, of course, allude to the fact that Charanjot is the downright favorite for this one, just purely by virtue of his record so far. Just 6 consecutive, 22 scored. It's just staggering, his records in this tournament in the 3 games that he has played so far. Absolutely blown away his opponents. But Vicky, as we already are underway here, is a tough opponent, as we've seen, and that mental strength is something that can really come in handy, right, in a time like this, because he's won 2 games on penalties in the round of 16 in quarterfinals, and then against Lokmanu as well, a 3-2, very closely fought 3-2 encounter where Vicky came out on top. So he's going to need plenty of that mental strength. And also, I feel like one of the important aspects is not to concede early against Charanjot, because he is the #1 seed, and with such an intimidating opponent, what you want to do is you want to settle down in the game nice and early, and not allow inroads very quickly, because if you go behind against an opponent like Charanjot, who's really shown us his free-flowing style of goal scoring in this tournament, it is indeed going to be very difficult to get back into this. So as we're seeing from Vicky, he is doing the right thing, playing with the white jersey, of course, with Wolfpack, that is Vicky, and Charanjot 12, CJ12 as he's called in the world of FIFA, with the red jersey. Yeah, pretty much even Stevens so far. It is Mbappe now with all his tricks. And now Ronaldo. He certainly has come good, and could come good now again. That wasn't Ronaldo, it was Neymar, but it will be a corner. Ball comes in, cleared away. Not out of danger though, maybe now. But it is retrieved by Charanjot again. He's just been relentless throughout the tournament, hasn't he? He continues to come at the Wolfpack now, and whoa, just as we were saying, Vicky should not be conceding an early goal, but well, when your opponent is as good as that, Neymar it is who thumps it in. When your opponent is as good as that, it is very difficult to contain. Charan yet again with an early lead in this game, and Vicky is going to have to come from behind if he has to win the title here. Oh, the worst nightmare really for Vicky. And it is, of course, a two-legged affair, as I mentioned just before the game started. So it is still early doors as far as the tie is concerned. But here they come again for number 2. Now he's got it away, Vicky, but then it's been given away just as quickly. That's nice one-touch play. Really good reflexes from Charan indeed, the man from Chandigarh. It's been absolutely outstandingly good so far. Now Neymar, he's come good for him quite a few times already in this tournament. Likes playing with the Brazilian. Chance now for Vicky to just settle down and just to weave a few passes together. He hasn't quite been able to do that so far, certainly not after going behind. Here he is again, Jones. Now Makelele, Neymar. He's got a couple on his back. Back to Jones. And now Neymar looking to muster up some space for a shot. The interception was very important indeed. Now Makelele looking to go the other way for Vicky. He did score 3 in the semi-final against Lokmanu. But I wonder, with Charan goal-scoring prowess, if Vicky will need way more than that to get past him in this tie. We'll see, but at the moment, he's first looking for an equalizer. And dispossessed there was Mbappe. Now James. Gullit. João Cancelo. Right back. Here he is again. You can just see the way that Charan is passing the ball around. You can just see that confidence. He is coming on the back of emphatic 5-0 win against seed number 2, Jenna Sid, in this tournament. And as our expert Lokmanu alluded to in the pre-match show, it's so unpredictable, isn't it, this game? I mean, that is what makes it so exciting. He did mention how it's seed number 1 here, which is Charan of course, against seed number 16, which is Vicky. And just goes to show that anything could happen. So this is not done. Well, far from it. And now chance for an equalizer here. It's Mbappe who's looking to weave away around Van Dijk. Always a difficult task. And the Dutchman gets it away for now. And he's kept possession as well in typical style. Tierney gets away from one. And now chance to run into the box, onto the byline. Looking for some space to get the shot in. It's been pulled back instead. Now on to Mbappe. On to his left. Now on for Neymar. With the shot, it was blocked. That good intent there from Neymar to get the shot off. Here he is again. Here he is again. Goes down in the box. Nothing doing, says the referee. Teed up on the D. And, well, it's been missed by the defense. Eventually, the goalkeeper had to come in and just about did enough. But we have half time here in the first leg. And it is, well, expectedly so perhaps, Charan Singh, who is leading this game. The number 1 seed leading by 1-0 against Vicky. Just a bit of a breather for Vicky to refocus and recenter his attention really to what he particularly wants to do in this game. Of course, there is the matter of getting that equalizer for now, but how he wants to achieve that, the conduit to the goal that he will eventually, or probably should eventually, score for 1-1 is so very important, because against Charan Jyot. If you go on the attack, all guns blazing, it's so difficult to contain his attack at the back end. You most certainly will be opened up, as we've seen all tournaments so far. But here is Vicky, and some space as well for Diata to run into. Neymar, I'm not quite sure if that was intended for Diata. Again, found him anyway. Mbappe twisting and turning on the edge of the D. Lost out on it. Just ran into a cluster of red shirts. Now chance for Charan Jyot to get it away again. Gullit. A lovely flick from Neymar and gets it back. One touch to Jones. Jones moves it on to the left for Mbappe. Finding himself in slightly unfamiliar territory, but he does like to drift into the left from time to time. Now, this is fantastic play. Surely would be deserving of a goal. Just one touch too many there in the box for Charan Jyot. Else it was certain to be a second goal. Free kick has been awarded eventually. Well, Vicky at the moment surviving by the skin of his teeth. It's attack after attack, really, for Charan Jyot. And, well, the first half was indeed a 1-0 scoreline. It ended with for Charan Jyot in the first 45. But if you look at the possession, etc. as well, just in terms of who's dominated the proceedings, it has been Charan Jyot. And in the second half as well, it very much has been the man from Chandigarh and the number 1 seed. And Vicky is indeed, as you can see, finding it a bit difficult to get back into this game. At the moment, he has to defend from across, though. Eventually gets it out. It's probably a matter of probably keeping it at 1-1 for Vicky, because with the way Charan Jyot is playing, the last thing that Vicky would want to do is let the game slip away from him, even before the referee blows for the second leg to start. So a 1-0 scoreline, perhaps not that bad for Vicky here, but it would certainly be better for him if he can get an equalizer. Here he comes again, but he has been dispossessed again. And now Neymar it is for Charan Jyot. Galloping forward. Mendy. Now Diata. It's dispossessed again. Mbappe. This is what we've seen Charan Jyot do all season long. I mean, it's just been wave after wave of attack, and it's just a question of strangling down his opponent. Yeah, he's looking to do that again. Here is Neymar toys on the edge of the D against the defense. Shot comes in, and oh, there it is, the second goal. It was certainly coming, and it's Neymar who's 2 to the good. And in this big final, ladies and gentlemen, it is Charan Jyot who's 2 to the good as well. A real setback that for Vicky before the second leg. I was talking about how a 1-0 scoreline isn't the worst for Vicky going into that second leg, but now at 2-0, he really will have a mountain to climb if it stays this way. But it is now a time for him to come out all guns blazing and just look to pull one back here before the final whistle. Now here comes Charan Jyot again. Just so comfortable. He's just playing the tiki-taka style of football. Head and shoulders above everybody so far in this tournament. And as Lokman said, the winner of this game will be crowned as not just the winner of AIFF's first ever eFootball challenge, but also as the best player by a mile for this season, certainly. And at the moment, it certainly looks to be Charan Jyot. That was Lokman pick for the winner as well. Just the way that he's been playing, the form that he's in, and it's such an important aspect, isn't it? Not just in football, but similarly in FIFA as well. The form of a player and who's got the momentum is just so important. Because at this level, we look at seed number 1 or seed number 15. These are the absolute finest talents in the country. They have, of course, both these players, Charan Jyot and Vicky, have become E-Tigers already. So they will be representing India in FIFA's flagship tournament, the FIFA E-Nation Series 2021. But as far as this particular game is concerned, the margin for error was always going to be very minimal. And when that is the case, momentum is just such a crucial aspect of getting over the line against your opponent. Rohan Tripathi with comment saying, game of good moves. Yes, indeed, it has been, Rohan. Most of them, though, have come from Charan Jyot so far. Now he's been dispossessed again by Charan Jyot, his Vicky. Gullit is away from 1 and 2 up ahead of him, and they're backing off, and in comes the shot this time. And goalkeeper makes a good save. And that is it for the first leg. It's 2-0 in favour of Charan Jyot. Well, it was indeed an exciting affair, but it's, well, expectedly so. Perhaps Charan Jyot is leading this game by 2-0. And we will have Lokmanyu again for his opinion on the first half. Lokmanyu, well, as expected, Charan Jyot does lead the first leg. Thoughts about the first leg?
I mean, of course, as neutrals, we were expecting quite a lot close game, I would say, and that did we did see that for some time. But what I feel is that right from the start, I think it's been Charan Jyot all over Vicky. Vicky has just been defending, and Charan Jyot, as we all know, likes to dominate the game outside his opponent's box. So I think what he's doing right now is what he has to do in the second leg as well. And you literally seeing him toying around and just standing in the midfield with the ball, waiting for Vicky to press. And unless Vicky does that, I think it's just going to be a very simple task for Charan Jyot. At least he's making it look that way, because Vicky obviously has beaten some fantastic players to reach the final, but Charan Jyot is just makes look everything so easy. So I think keeping that in mind, Vicky has to change up his game style. I think he has to go a little bit more offensive rather than being a little passive from what I saw in the first leg.
Yeah. Okay. And in this first half, like you mentioned, it has been all Charan Jyot. Really, I've been commentating on it, and there's only really been one team and one player in this game so far, pretty much. What do you think is going wrong for Vicky, or is Charan Jyot just that good?
Of course, Charan Jyot is that good, but what I've seen is that Vicky has been very good defensively. I think he has stopped some very crucial attacks of Charan Jyot. Have to give the credit where it's due, but what I feel is that Vicky has to build upon the first chance that we did see in the first leg, where he had a chance to shoot with Mbappe in the box, but it was denied by the fantastic defending of Charan Jyot. So I think if Vicky can create those chances, if he can get inside the box, then I think he can come back into the game, considering he was defensively quite solid, and he's only conceded 2 goals, and it's probably nothing in a game of FIFA. You can easily make a comeback from 2 goals. I myself did it against Vicky to get back into the game when he was 2-0 up. So I think it's still time that Vicky can still go ahead and come back into this game.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that it is not such a big lead generally in FIFA, and you yourself did it in the semi-final. But against a player like Charan Jyot and the kind of form that he's in, do you see Vicky get back into this?
I mean, as a neutral, I hope so, because we all want to enjoy the game. But it looks unlikely, because Charan Jyot, of course, knows how to see out games. He's been playing at a very high level against some of the best players, not just in India, but in the whole West Asia region when it comes to the FIFA Global Series. But I think if Vicky can change up the game style, I think he will be able to get at least 1 goal back, if not 2, and give some sort of competition to CJ. Because if CJ does get the first goal, I think that's pretty much over.
Yeah, you mentioned how CJ could get an early goal like he did in that first half of the first leg. Do you think that is eventually what deflated Vicky's confidence? Because the last thing I mentioned at commentary as well is what you want to do against a player like Charanjot is concede early.
Yeah, you don't want to be conceding against Saranjot early. Rather, you should never be conceding the first goal in a game of competitive FIFA, because it obviously puts a lot of a negative impact on your mind, because your whole game style changes. You have to go to your second plan of action as to how to come back into the game rather than playing your natural game. So I think keeping all that in mind, if Vicky can get that attacking sort of game style and shake Charanjot's plans for the second leg, I think that then only is the case where it'll be possible for a comeback. Otherwise, CJ is looking all comfortable right now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Lokmanu, for joining us again, and we'll see you after the game. Your prediction, of course, very quickly. It stands Charanjot to win this.
I think it's going to be 3-0 to Charanjot in the second leg. I'm just looking at the way, just basing my opinion from the first. So probably like a 5-0 aggregate score, just from my opinion. Otherwise, as a neutral, we are, of course, hoping for Vicky to get those 2 goals back and take us into extra time.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll see you again after the game. All right then, Lokmanu there with well, I'd say otherwise with the kind of games that we've seen in this tournament so far, that would have been a bold claim. But just the way that Charanjot is playing at the moment, he's backing Charanjot to win this 5-0 on aggregate. So, well, a 3-0 scoreline in the second leg is what Lokmanu is expecting. It was, of course, a 5-0 aggregate scoreline for Charanjot in the semi-final against Jenna Sid. Can he replicate that now, or can Vicky get back into this tie? The second leg is underway, ladies and gentlemen. It's Vicky who's kicked it off for us. He has the ball now, and that is something that he has to keep doing for the rest of this game, which is just keep it and just be patient and unhurried in possession. As Lokmanu mentioned, it was the confidence from Charanjot that really did Vicky in that first leg, because he was just toying around with the defense, and until Vicky actually goes ahead and starts to press Charanjot, it's looking extremely difficult indeed. At the moment, he's got some defending to do. And as you can see, you can show your support for the E-Tigers in the comment section. That is the hashtag, of course, hashtag E-Tigers. And now this is Neymar looking for a hat trick now in this particular tie. Dispossessed for now. Sistiata. A good challenge there. It will be a throw in though. You have to say that, well, Vicky has started out this game much better than he started out in the first. So important is, look, when you and I were talking about at the break between the first and the second leg, which was you cannot be conceding now against Charanjot. The first goal of this particular game has to come from Vicky, otherwise it's pretty much curtains for Vicky. Neymar has pushed the ball forward, went down. It will be a free kick. Well, Aditya Bhattacharya, I'm not sure if too many people would disagree with you when you say CJ will win comfortably. Ronaldo certainly is looking like that at the moment. All the way back now to João Cancelo. Mendy now. Gullit to Van Dijk. This is just such smart and intelligent play from Charanjot. He wants Vicky to come out and press him so he can open lines at the back and exploit them even further for 3-0, 4-0, perhaps even 5-0 in the tie. Vicky, of course, would know that a goal here, conceding a goal here, is going to be murder, really. But on the flip side, as Lokman you mentioned in the between the first and second leg, it's a 2-0 scoreline in FIFA especially is not such a big deal. And of course, there is a factor of Charan Jot's form, but it is something that can be overturned. And Vicky, with the number of close games that he's actually won so far in this tournament, and he knows how to battle it out in a closely fought affair, and he has shown that mental strength to get back into games as well, winning a couple on penalties, and then that game against Lokman as well, where it was 3-2 to him right at the death. So he knows that he has to get one back here, and maybe the pendulum will shift in his favor, and he can get something out of this. At the moment, though, Charan Jot is indeed looking very difficult to stop. Here he comes again. This time from the right. Gullit now moved off forward for Cancelo. He's looking for the cross. Now it's Ronaldo and a pullback. Is that the final, ladies and gentlemen? Neymar gets his first of the game, his third of the tie. 3 for Neymar, and it's 3 for Charan Jot. Has the winner of AIFF's eFootball Challenge been decided here? 3 to the good now, Charan Jot. Is there even a way back for Vicky in this tie? Just emphatic. And it's unsurprising and very typical indeed of Charan Jot's recent form. He has been absolutely outstanding all tournament, and he's just continued that in the final. And there might be some players, or perhaps for good reason, who might think that anything could happen in the final. Us as fans as well, we always are hoping for a close fight and for a game where it's a fiercely contested game. But here, it's just completely been one-way traffic, and that has come from Charan Jot. And I tell you what, it continues to come. Sachin Jadhav thinks Charan Jot is the GOAT, and well, he certainly is playing like one. Makalele. Is there some time now for Vicky to get back into this? Surely you feel like he has to get one back at least before half-time. It looks highly, highly unlikely, though, the way that Charan Jot is playing. I mentioned the semi-final as well. And what's been really impressive about him is not just the fact that he scored 25 goals in 3 games or 4 games now, but he's conceded only 6 so far, a clean sheet against the likes of Chena Said, and as it stands here, he's keeping a clean sheet against Vicky as well. So it's just proving that he's the undisputed best at the moment. And there it is. Referee blows for half-time here in the second leg. It is Charan Jot who is leading by a 0-0, just as he did in the first leg. So 3 halves of this particular final been played over the 2 legs, and it's been a goal in every half for Charan Jot, courtesy of Neymar, that he has a 3-0 lead here. The final 45 minutes on the clock in this 2-legged affair, which is the grand final of AIFF's first ever eFootball Challenge. Can Vicky pull off a rabbit out of the hat here? Gullit. He's taking the ball out wide, but seemingly going nowhere. He's fronted by one as well. And gets it back, pulls it to the edge of the D. Back with Gullit. Moves it on. This is Jones. On to Mendy now. He has options on the overlap as well, but Neymar in the half space. Gullit. Neymar again. Gullit again. And Neymar looking for some room for a shot. He takes it. But it's been parried away by the goalkeeper. Surviving for now is Vicky. Absolutely dominant here. Is Charan. This is Simon for Vicky. Can he at least get a consolation goal here? If it comes right now, it could be much more than just a consolation. Neymar. Oh, it was a nice idea. Almost executed to perfection as well from Neymar. But now, there's always the chance of getting hit on the break. Kieran Tierney. That's nice play, and he's continued his run here in the box. Goalkeeper comes out. Leno nice and quick. Tierney again to Makalele. It will be a throw-in to Vicky. Something has to happen here for Vicky, and it has to happen fast. And good to see Sid Chandarana, one of the 4 semi-finalists, of course, getting involved as well. He's saying, I'm watching. Indeed, a pleasure when the players themselves get involved as well, as Lokmanya already has. Of course, he is on our show. He'll be joining us for the post-match thoughts as well. The sportsman spirit of these FIFA gamers is something that has particularly stood out for me. Of course, know each other all too well, played against each other plenty of times, and there is that friendship that does exist, but not on the field. Certainly not now between Vicky and Charan. It is a battle of the highest order, which at the moment Charan seems to be winning with ease. Simon to Makalele, back to Simon, back to Makalele. Can he make something happen here for Vicky? Aditya Dubey saying CJ could. Yes, indeed. Makalele again. This is better from Vicky, who's perhaps having the best spell of his entire tie so far. But he has been dispossessed now, and you don't want to be giving it away to that man. Neymar, oh, what a through ball that is. Absolutely brilliant water goal. And that is completely deserving of just capping off the tie here. And indeed, the final, Cristiano Ronaldo on the end of it. And does he ever miss those? 4-0 now to Charan. And this really is beyond the reach of Vicky now. That through ball from Neymar was just an inch perfect. And Cristiano Ronaldo, that is what he always seems to do. Find the back of the net. Ujwal Jain says India's #1 player for a reason. Absolutely. Stunning stuff. It's just completely lived up to his billing here. He started off as seed #1. He is seed #1 in this tournament, and he has been #1 in every single aspect that you could think of. Charanjot Singh. Now, Neymar here for Vicky. Eventually fizzled out and comes to nothing. And this is Mendy now, looking to gallop forward from the left. Bender. Now Mendy again. Sanchez. Threaded through to Neymar. Again, that combination of Neymar and Ronaldo almost coming off. Diatta. Comes in now. Another chance maybe. This for 5-0. An absolute romp here from Charan. Neymar gets his second of the game, his fourth of the tie, and that is indeed Charanjot's fifth of the tie to cap off an emphatic win for sure now in the final. Oh, what a game of football it's been. Lokman, you called it 3-0 in the second leg and a 5-0 win on aggregate. Well, and that is what it looks certain to end with, unless Charanjot is looking to add another one here. The player goes down, no foul given on that occasion. Neymar now looking to go the other way. Mbappe touches it on. Makalele move forward onto the left-hand channel. And that is that. An emphatic victory here for Charanjot in the final. Absolutely outstanding scenes here for Charanjot. What coordination, what play here from the 18-year-old. Just been fantastic to watch him play. Unlucky on this occasion. Vicky, of course, coming off a brilliant victory in the semi-final, but in the final, well, there is little question that Charanjot was the better player. And we have the two players and our expert Lokman joining us back. Well, I let the players take a breather and have a sip of water because, well, that was certainly intense. And it has to be intense up until the end of the game, because in FIFA, as Lokman pointed out, between the first and the second leg, you always have a chance. So, Lokman, well, you predicted it right. I'm happy that we didn't bet on you getting it right for this game. 3-0 in the second leg for Charanjot. What did you make of this game?
I think even CJ knows that I've played with him long enough to know how the game is going to be. When he's up against his opponent 2-0, he's going to be patient. He's going to wait for his opponent to press. He exactly did that, and as soon as Vicky started to go forward, he got his couple of goals, and that's what I thought is going to happen. So I think I also deserve a trophy for the right prediction, Prem, from you, apart from just CJ. But massive congratulations to the young man. I
Thank
think
you.
he is by far the undisputed champion of India. I haven't seen better talent than him in our country in all these years that I've competed. But commiserations to Vicky because he played really well. He beat some tough opponents along the way. And in the final, he just couldn't click. I think that FIFA is all about having your day right if you're not Charanjot, in my opinion. So I think that's how it is. Yeah, that's what I think of this game. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Before I come to the winner, Charanjot, Vicky, hard luck today. What do you think went wrong? Where was the game lost for you?
I mean, once CJ gets control of the game, it's really hard to stop him. So yeah, he played really well. Fair play to CJ. I mean, he attacked really well. It was really hard from my part. I felt it very difficult to defend against him. So yeah.
Okay. And Charanjot, the man of the moment, the winner of AIFF's first eFootball challenge. How does that feel? And just completely emphatic from you, Charanjot. Again, how do you do it?
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for the kind words, Prem and Lokmanu. It feels amazing to be the E-Tiger, the first E-Tiger, and to win the AIFF E-Challenge. And hard luck to Vicky, like he played amazingly. I know the connection and all is a bit hard to manage, but he played amazingly, and I hope we both can bring the trophy home to India.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Well, the nature of sport is such that there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. But what we as fans can expect is that the action is thrilling and entertaining enough to keep us hooked to the screens. And indeed, it has been. And thanks to all of you, including Lokmani, of course, who was a semi-finalist, to Vicky and Charanjot, the two finalists, for such an entertaining tournament all the way through to the final. Thank you to AIFF, of course, who have done such a fantastic job in organizing the first ever eFootball challenge. I'm sure there will be many more to come in the future as well. And finally, thank you to all of you who have tuned in over the course of the 2 broadcasts for the semi-final on Friday and now for the final on Sunday as well. Right. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We will see you again very soon.
And
Thank you.
Thanks, Prem. Cheers.